Greetings, I'm Zachary Hepner. I'm pleased to share this Shvar Torah with you for Parshat Shoftim, Parshat KiTeitzei, and Parshat Haazinu. There are numerous metaphors in the Torah. God is described as a man of war. That's a metaphor. The Torah teaches that the blood is the soul. And there are many other such comparisons as metaphors. Among them, one of the most striking is the comparison of mankind to a tree. It's not phrased as a simile, but as an explicit metaphor. KiTeitzei yamim rabim lehilachem alela tafsah lo tashchit et enza lindoach alav garzen ki mimenu tochel v'oto lo tichrot ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh levo mipanecha b'matzor. When you lay siege to a city for many days to wage war against it, to capture it, you shall not destroy its trees by wielding an axe against them, but you may eat from them, but you shall not cut them down, for Adam eitz hasadeh, the Adam is the tree of the field. To be besieged before you? The translation's difficult. The verse does not say man is like a tree of the field, rather man is the tree of the field. Why is the Torah using language in the middle of a legal text that's poetic? The question is ancient. Chazal asked it, the Rishonim asked it. The two simplest answers are either man is like the tree of the field. It's not a metaphor, it's just a simile. The other common answer is that you are what you eat. Man eats fruit, so you are what you eat. Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh. Take a closer reading and see that there is something deeper. Mortals are truly the trees of the field. Let's rewind back to Genesis 2. Vayitzer Adonai Elohim et ha'adam afar min ha'adama vayipach b'afav nishmat chayim vayhi ha'adam lenefesh chaya. The Lord formed Adam, from the dust of the earth, Adamah, and he blew into his nostrils the breath of life, and the man became a living being. Adam is a name, Adamah is a noun. The name Adam carries the notion of mortality with it. The story of Adam introduces mortality because he eventually dies. The word Adam refers to a human, is not a common word, in fact, in the Torah. Adam is a personal noun. It's concentrated only in Genesis 1 through 3, and then it vanishes from a personal noun to a noun. There's no mention of Adam in Exodus, but I do observe that the primal altar in Exodus is Mizbeach Adamah. As the pasuk says, Mizbeach Adamah ta'aseli. You should make a Mizbeach out of Adamah in the middle of Exodus. I think that this is the ontological altar that's made of Adamah. The word Adam appears again in Leviticus chapter 1. Daber el b'nei Yisrael ve'amarta lehem Adam, ki akriv mikem korban ladonai, min ha'behema, min ha'bakar, u'min ha'tzon takriv et korbanchem. Speak to the children of Israel and say, when a Adam, or a mortal, amongst you brings an offering to the Lord from the cattle or from the flock, shall you bring your offering. Leviticus 1 refers to Adam not simply as a person, it means a mortal who brings a sacrifice, the highest spiritual level. And then Adam in the lowest spiritual level, an Adam who has been inflicted with sara'at. As it says, Adam ki hiya ve'or b'saro sa'et o sapachat o baheret v'haya be'or b'saro lenegat sara'at. Then in Numbers 19, Adam is quintessentially impure. Adam becomes a corpse. Zot haTorah Adam ki amut ba'ohel, kol haba el ha'ohel, v'chol asher ba'ohel yitma shivat yamim. This is the law. When Adam dies in a tent, in an ohel, everyone who enters the tent and everything in it shall be impure for 7 days. Again, Adam is a lowly creature as a hostage. In Numbers 31, Sa'et rosh malkoach hashvi ba'adam uva behema. Count the booty of the captives, both of the Adam, the mortals, the humans, and of the beasts. Finally, in Deuteronomy 20, Shoftim, Adam is the field of the tree. Thus, Adam is present in 4 key places in the Torah. Adam is present in the Garden of Eden, in the field, the Sadeh, in the Ohel. Adam is impure outside the Ohel. Adam is a hostage, very far outside the camp. Adam is returned to the Adamah as a tree. Now note that insight that Adam 1, or Adam 1, the Rav Yosher Ber Adam 1, is commanded to subdue. Pru urvu emilot haaretz v'chifshua uredu. Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth, and urudu, subdue it. Have dominion over the fish of the sea, the birds of the sky, and every living creature that moves on the earth. Adam is commanded to subdue creatures only. No mention of permission to subdue trees. Adam 2, or the Rav Yosher Ber Adam 2 in Genesis chapter 2, is tasked not with conquest, but with stewardship. The Lord took Adam, placed him into the Garden of Eden to work it and to guard it. Thus, man's dominion is restrained. Man does not have complete dominion. He subdues the animal kingdom, and he tills the fields, but the fruit-bearing trees are to be protected. L'shomra. The command for Adam 1 to subdue and Adam 2 to preserve the gan echoes the battlefield commandment in Deuteronomy 20 to subdue, as it says, ad ridata. You are laying siege to the city until you subdue it, but not to damage the fruit trees. Deuteronomy 20 addresses Adam 1's license to subdue creatures. It also addresses Adam 2's obligation to guard trees. The rise and fall of Adam in Genesis is one single narrative. However, the rise and fall of Adam is recreated in the next 4 books of the Torah. In Genesis, Adam begins in the garden but is sent to the field. The Sadeh has a dual symbolism. It signifies toil. It also represents that which is outside the sacred, just as Yaakov dwells in the Ohel, while Esau is described as a man of the field. Esau is outside of the Ohel. Thus, the rise of Adam is recreated at the Sinai Theophany with an altar of Adamah, Mizbeach Adamah. Then he has his crescendo in Leviticus 1, where he goes into the Ohel Moed, the Ohel, and addressing the Adam in chapter 1, verse 2 of Leviticus, who brings an offering and a burnt offering of all offerings in Olah, the primal expression of human yearning for closeness to immortality is the Olah. Even non-Israelites may bring such offerings, for this is the universal impulse. Parenthetically, this is a foreshadowing of the Olah of Nadav and Avihu, a self-Olah. Back to the Dvar Torah, the rest of the Torah narrates the descent of Adam. Adam leaves the Ohel because of Tzara'at, later in Leviticus. Adam, who dies in the Ohel, becomes the source of impurity in Numbers 19. Adam is in the war against Midian, Numbers 31. Adam is reduced to a number counted like the beasts. Mortal man, once in God's image, has fallen so low. Following the prohibition against wanton destruction of fruit trees in Deuteronomy is the law of the Egla Arufa. In Deuteronomy, the unidentified murdered corpse. This echoes the story of Cain v'Hevel. Vahi v'yotam basadeh vayakom Cain el Hevel achiv vayahargehu. That's Breshit 4. And it was when they were in the field, the Sadeh, that Cain rose against his brother Abel and killed him. Cain's flippant response, "Am I my brother's keeper?" denies the very charge given to Adam to be the shomer of the garden. Hashomer achi anochi, in contrast to le'ovda u'leshomra. Killing a human who is like a fruit tree is an act of treason against the very creation itself. Thus the Sanhedrin, which judges murderers, is also charged with judging choriv v'chol nega, every dispute and every affliction, including the nega of tzara'at, skin afflictions. This connects back to Leviticus as Adam is afflicted with tzara'at. Adam ki yav or besaros etos apachot v'aheret v'hayav or besaro lenega tzara'at. When a mortal Adam has on the skin of his flesh tzara'at. Parenthetically, in Leviticus, priests judge impurity. In Deuteronomy, the Sanhedrin judges rebellion and treason. Now to Parshat KiTeitzei, immediately following Parshat Shoftim, continues the theme and the narratives of the beginning of Genesis, the laws of the beautiful captive, Eshet Yafat Tohar, the man with 2 wives, and the rebellious son, the Ben Sorera Moreh. This echoes the narratives of Lamech in Genesis, who has 2 wives, and whose story is intertwined with violence and distorted continuity. The rebellious son, like Abel, who produces no future, is executed prematurely. Chazal connect Lemech's blindness and violence to the conditions of the Ben Sorer Umoreh. Finally, the executed criminal is hanged on a tree. When a man is guilty of a capital offense and is put to death, you shall hang him on an eitz, on a tree. The mortal, once charged to guard the trees, is now likened to a tree. Just as Cain became the cursed from the Adamah, so too the executed criminal becomes a cursed person, returning once more to the Adamah by being hanged on a tree. From Genesis through Deuteronomy, the Torah presents the grand theme, and that is Adam begins in the garden, tasked with guarding the trees. He is exiled to the field, where he has to toil and experience danger. He seeks to return to the Ohel with offerings. He wants to reach the divine. Yet, as a mortal, he falls and ultimately returns to the Adamah. Back to the metaphor, Ki ha'adam eitz hasadeh, for man is the tree of the field. Both fruit trees and mortals share the same first-class rights. We are charged to guard both. To cut down a tree wrongly or to harm a fellow mortal is treason against the garden itself. Now, to what extent is this conflated symbolism? Because in reality, man is not a tree. No pun intended, man is a separate genus from Genesis. Man is not a tree. One approach may be found in the Bechor Shor, in the last line of the Haazinu Shira, the penultimate parsha in the Torah, Deuteronomy 32. Kidam avadav yikom, v'nakam yashiv letzara, v'chiper admato amo. O nations, acclaim God's people, for he'll avenge the budge of his servants, wreak vengeance on his foes. V'chiper admato amo, and cleans his people's lands. I'm now going to cite the Bechor Shor. V'chiper admato, mikol chet v'avon amo, admato hu amo, shechaper al amo, l'kach adama mechuperet, kevan sheha'am mechupar, kamo lama namuch lenegdecha gam anachnu nagav aravotenu, v'ki kesheha'am met, ha'adama meta, ukesheha'am mechupar umutuhar, ha'adama mutuheret umechuperet, v'zeh lemot HaMashiach. As my father observes, Bechor Shor explains that God's territory is his people, that's the Israelites, and that the land will achieve atonement because his people will achieve atonement. When its people die, it is as if the land dies, and when his people are atoned, the land is purified and atoned. This will occur in the Messianic era. In other words, ki kesheha'am met ha'adama meta. The nation is the Holy Land, and the Holy Land are the people. We seek our national atonement, and part of that atonement is through the Holy Land. This conflation is actually addressed in the Zohar, though its message is very simple. Return to your roots, and the roots will return to you. To recap, we've addressed Adam 1, Adam 2, Cain, Abel, Lemech, the altar of Adamah in Exodus, the lofty Adam in Leviticus, who brings an olah, a burnt offering, the lowly Adam creature who is afflicted with tzaraat, the lowly Adam corpse, the lowly Adam hostage, the conflation of Adam as a fruit tree, its juxtaposition with the Egla Arufa, the fair captive, the Ben Sorer or Moreh, the sentenced and hanged convict. Concluding with the Bechor Shor's insight into the final verse in the Haazinu Shira, blurring lines between the national corpus and the Holy Land, producing a fine inclusion for the entire 5 books of the Torah. We are Adam. Subdue, protect, return, and atone. Wishing you all a Shabbat Shalom.